Secret Wars rumours, fantastic forecasting, and our 2023 movie preview. We're talking all this and more on our first episode of 2023. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing.
Let's do it.
You got there before me.
Is that what you were going to do?
I was going to do that, yeah, but you beat me. You beat me to it. Why did you beat me to it? Because Anthony's drinking. There's a warning to everybody. Anthony's on the booze. Anthony texted me before and was like, just a warning, I'm drinking tonight. So, listeners, right, he's not had any mulled wine or ibuprofen, so he should be alright. He's on the Baileys.
I finished work today and I felt absolutely shattered. Like, I was worried about not being able to come in as I'm driving home. I felt that tired.
Oh, really?
I left work about half an hour early because I was like, I can't stay for another half hour and then try and drive home.
Yeah, fair play.
So
you came home and just started on the
record,
booze.
And I thought, I'll drink. That'll wake me up.
Yeah.
And it's worked.
Has it worked?
I've got like a second kick.
We're all right then. Well, let's just see how the show goes then. For the first one of the year, it can only go downhill from here, can't it? Really. Anyway, on this week's show, we're breaking down all the week's biggest comic book movie news, including some Flash news, and we're going to talk about Jeremy Renner as well. Don't laugh. You've got to stop laughing when I talk about Jeremy Renner.
I was laughing at Flash because it's always in the fucking news. And it's driving me insane.
There's quite a bit of news on it this week as well.
Yeah.
We're then going to give you our full preview of 2023's comic book / superhero-ish movies before listening to your thoughts and theories in Pod Fans Assemble. This is also your spoiler warning. There will be spoilers and speculation throughout the episode. And finally, if you want to skip ahead to the 2023 review or any part of the news, then we will put... or the Pod Fans Assemble even. I knew there was something else in this show. It's only been a couple of weeks. Then we'll put timestamps in the description for you, as always. News then. Should we just start the news with The Flash?
Yeah, get out the way.
Should we just get it done? So, there's been a couple of big kind of bits of news. For starters, this thing's still happening, which surprised the shit out of me straight away. But then there's also been a bit of promo art released this week, which people... Look, you've already started laughing already. No. Which you've already started laughing at. Can I be honest? I kind of like it. I don't like the new suit.
It looks like his face has been terribly superimposed on it.
That's because it has been terribly superimposed on it. 1,000,000%. That's exactly what they've done. So
it's like they went to a 15-year-old doing his GCSE and went, here, put his face on that body for me.
Yeah,
and they've gone, got it.
Do you know what though? I still can't believe this movie's happening. We're going to talk about DC in a bit more detail when we do the 2023 preview. But yeah, I mean, we're getting promo art now. It's not that far away. I have got a date. It's not on this page of notes, so we'll get it to. We'll tell it later. And I do know when it's coming out, kind of. But pretty much, there's two Ezras. I mean, one's enough, but there's two Ezras on the poster. Apparently, it's Michael Keaton.
Two Ezras don't make a right.
Oh, God. The Baileys has kicked in. Anyway, we've got two Ezras. We've got Michael Keaton's Batman in a newish suit, and then we've got Sasha Cal's Supergirl. That's pretty much it. So the area of ridicule is, in my opinion, probably both the Flash suits. The new one with the really big helmet, I'm not really feeling it. I don't
because
like
he has
it.
a really big helmet.
It's because he has a really big helmet. I kind of, as stupid as the gormless look on Ezra's face on the makeshift suit that they're calling
Look, Mom, I'm on the telly.
That's pretty much it. I kind of like it now because I'd seen like a really rough bit of concept art for that suit a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I just thought, what are they doing? I didn't get it. And then when I saw this one, I remembered that it's one of the old Batman suits, and they've customized it to be a Flash suit. So you can see at the back of the head, they've cut off the ears, the bat ears off the top,
and you can see the circle in the middle.
And you can see the circle in the middle. And Michael Keaton had a big, thick neck in it, didn't he? Because he couldn't turn his neck.
Okay.
So I kind of like it with it making sense.
Okay, with that explanation, yeah, it makes sense, but it's not.
It's not the suit, it's the look.
Obvious.
No, I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And without that explanation, it just looks like...
You just look at it and you go, what a stupid suit. But then you look at the new suit for main Ezra, and I think the stupid suit looks better than the main suit. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. He looks like he's got a Lego head. It does. He's got a full-on Lego head.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm just, as I said, completely surprised that this is actually happening.
I saw some concept art from somebody, I can't even remember who it was now, and it was like DC and Marvel, and their costumes were like mixed together with their counterpart.
Okay.
Now, when it said counterpart, there were certain expectations that I had. Guess
So
who
it was
they put
gonna be
Batman with?
Tony.
No.
Okay.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, I kind of
And
get
do you
it.
know what? It looked really good.
I can get
was
the
really impressed with
similarity.
it. So the whole Batman kind of shawl thing
Yeah.
was more like the Moon Knight hood.
Okay.
And it was, I was actually really impressed by it.
It's a good shout, that.
So yeah, it was.
Like that. Where was this?
It was just on. There's a link on Facebook somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And it was just showing off.
We'll find
this.
it. We'll
It
find
was
it. We'll
so
put it on
cool.
Twitter.
I thought it was a bit different.
Andy will find it, and I'll put it on Twitter.
I'll try.
Andy's going to go hunting for it. Before we move away from Flash news, there is a bit more. So I take this as a rumour at the moment, but Variety have put a report out, and I don't know if people are saying that James Gunn's debunked this now, but he hasn't. When you look at his tweet, it just basically says that Variety don't know 100% what they're talking about, and the decisions haven't been made. But the rumour is that even though we're getting a complete blanket reboot with the DC, DCU, DC Studios, whatever you want to call it now, or whatever it is called, the only actor who is going to not get cut from the DCU now is potentially going to be Ezra Miller. How?
Why?
I don't get it. Well, the explanation is, it says, it's Variety have said this, given that Miller has stayed out of trouble since beginning mental health treatment in the summer, some executives are amenable to continuing with the actor as the world-saving speedster. Come on.
That's not how that works.
That's like saying, you've not killed anybody this week, so you can look after the puppies. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
No,
you just
what?
don't do it.
Taking it on a serious
We're
route.
going to sack Henry Cavill.
Take it on a serious route. What jobs have Johnny Depp been given back?
Yeah. Excellent
And
point.
he's actually not been cleared of it, but a lot of the defamation stuff.
Ezra's not even got to court yet with any of these charges.
And this is what I mean. So why is it that there's one rule for one and one rule for another? That's what I don't like about this.
The only thing I can think is, and I said this on the Discord earlier on, he's the only character, Flash, who would make sense to stay, because he could travel to a different universe, and then that could be our DC universe. So it does make sense that he'd be the one to remain there. But I'm just gobsmacked that they'd even go that way. It doesn't have to go that way.
No.
But I suppose if they want to somehow make it so that it's not just right, scrap everything we've done, we're starting again. They've still got 3 or 4 projects to release this year.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't want... in order to keep people interested in those projects, having it as a continuation in a new universe rather than just, right, that's all scrapped, that was all a waste of time, we're starting afresh.
Yeah.
And Flash is probably the only character who can do that in the DCU. Unless they pull an Endgame and just all of a sudden have everybody able to travel to different universes and stuff instead of time travel, which I'll be honest, I'd be happier with than moving forward with Ezra.
Yeah, me too.
I really would. Whether this happens, though, we don't know. We'll talk a bit more about The Flash and Aquaman and stuff when we do the 2023 preview. Should we talk about Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
Absolutely good. I'm happier now. Yeah. When I read it, I think, was it New Year's Day? Or a couple of days after New Year's Day?
And he was helping someone.
I know. He was clearing someone's drive, wasn't
He
it?
was being Hawkeye.
He was being a hero.
Yeah.
He was being a hero. I'm sure you know if you're listening to this what's happened. So Jeremy Renner was in a snowplow accident.
Yeah.
He got run over by his own snowplow. There's like an investigation going ahead as to how it happened, because the safety mechanism supposed to be on those things where it can't happen. But he basically got completely run over. He's had a couple of surgeries now. Absolutely glad to say that he seems to be pulling through. He's released a video today, so it's Thursday today when we're recording this, of him awake, talking.
Yeah,
he's
I saw that.
Drugged up to the eyeballs,
and you can
clearly.
see the bruises on his face.
Yeah,
and
he's not in a great
properly
way.
Banged up, isn't he?
But the main thing is he seems to be recovering.
Yeah.
So that's a massive positive. And clearly, I'm sure everybody does, but not that he's listening, like, he's got bigger things to do than listen to our podcast, but clearly we wish him all the best as well.
Yeah.
Some more news then.
Isn't that weird, though? Just on a quick point. Like, that's the second celebrity that's been run over by their own vehicle now.
You're talking about Anton?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was horrible. That was 25 or something,
27.
wasn't he? Forever 27, yeah.
That's why I found it weird, because he was 27
It is
at the
weird,
time.
isn't it? It always seems to be 27.
Yeah.
Happens. What an absolute waste. He was so good. I've not seen him in a lot of things. I've seen him in the Star Trek movies. What else?
He was in a war film as well, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I'd seen him in Terminator. He was Kyle Reese in Terminator, which was just a crap film, but he was good in it.
I'm sure he was in like a war film.
Fright Night. Fright Night. Have you seen it with Colin Farrell? Yeah. Brilliant. It's shit, but it's brilliant. But he's really good in it, to be fair. So it's a massive shame, but yeah. As I said, at least Jeremy Renner seems to be pulling through.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Let's get on to some Marvel news then. So we've got a couple of bits of Marvel news. I'd take them as rumours at this stage, but there's some rumours swirling around about Secret Wars.
I'm so excited to talk about this.
You text me this one. So there's two bits of news that we've got.
Well, there's more since.
Go on. Right, so you talk us through the one that you said. Go on. You talk us through the news that you know.
Okay, so there's already been rumours circulating this week that for the Secret Wars, we would be... it's rumoured that Tobey Maguire has been cast again as
I can
Spider-Man.
see that happening. Makes sense.
As well as Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine.
Makes sense. We already know he's back for Deadpool 3.
Since then, I've also seen that, I can't remember how to pronounce her name, Famke
Janssen?
Yeah, is coming back as Jean Grey.
Oh, right, okay.
So there's a lot of rumours that a lot of these are going to tie in with each other and do one last crossover before they kind of make their own path with the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Get all
it
this
seems
out
like
the way.
they're drawing a lot of people in to kind of make a big...
a big event.
Big event.
They're trying to redo Endgame, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's something that again has come out over the last couple of days. So heavy spoilers. He seems to be getting a lot of like leaks at the moment, which is great. And he tweeted the other day to say that from what I've heard about Secret Wars, they basically want to do Endgame, but with the multiverse instead of time travel. Instead of going to key points in the MCU like they did with AE, they will be traveling to key universes across the wider Marvel universe. So basically,
powerful people
there's
fight a war.
Yeah. There's a MacGuffin. They'll be collecting things. There'll probably rings in each universe that they need to collect. Yeah, I am. I'm actually more excited for it now.
Rings and bracelets and
rings
shit.
and bracelets, necklaces, whatever you want. Toe rings. Anything circular that can have a diamond in it. Pretty much. That's what we're going for. There's other things I can think of as well, but we're not going to talk about them. All I'll say is Prince Albert.
Someone's just brought a range out.
Of
And
what?
they're like 27 grand of those types of rings.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you know this?
Because I saw a post.
I saw it on
Because
Facebook.
he'd been quiet for like a year on his Instagram and then popped up with a picture and it's all blurred out. But
I
the
need to know
actual
what
item-
celebrity this is.
I can't
Ezra
remember
Miller. To be fair, it wouldn't surprise
What
me.
kind of advertising would he do as the Flash with one of those rings? In and out in 2 seconds. Watch out, ladies.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you heard it here first. Ezra is now selling cock rings. Anyway, sticking with Marvel then. So this is kind of a bit of news that there is no news at the moment. Have you got more Secret Wars news?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
go on.
So where they've also said about Secret Wars being that, they've also said that Kang Dynasty is going to be the new Avengers forming.
Okay.
So there's a rumor that's so it's kind of like the two films are going to be Secret Wars is going to be the mashup of everybody.
Yeah.
And the Kang Dynasty is going to be the new Avengers forming together.
Okay, I like that.
So they'll be a little bit different from one another, which I quite like the idea of.
I'd read some theories as well that the Kang is obviously going to be the villain in both of them, but it's going to be different Kangs. So the Kang.
But I love that. Like, I'm excited about that.
I am. I think
I'm
that's really good.
I'm so excited for Quantumania to see if my theory is accurate, and I really think it is.
Cautiously excited about Quantumania. And I'm excited to see if your theory is correct.
If it's,
and I think
right,
I think that's where we're going to go.
So impressed with
I
myself.
do think it's got to be it. Again, we'll talk a bit more about it. But Black Panther. We'll talk about Black Panther in a couple of weeks because it's coming to Disney Plus on the 1st of February. So we didn't get a chance to do our review. Things are happening, but we will do a review. We'll do our review when it comes out in a couple of weeks. I enjoyed it. It still didn't 100% hook me in. I feel like I've had this conversation before on the podcast and with you multiple times, but I've sort of fallen out of the MCU a little bit. And the more news and rumours I say about Secret Wars and stuff, the more excited I am. But whilst Black Panther, it sort of brought me back into a degree. it felt like the end. I know it was the end of Phase 4, but it really felt like the end of Phase 4. It felt like the end of what they were trying to accomplish with it, which was messy as anything, but it felt like that. And I'm hoping that Ant-Man brings me straight back into it. And it needs to sort of set the stage of this is where the story's going now. Don't tell us all the secrets, but it needs to, I know we know, but it needs to give us a bit more of a definitive answer as to where it's going.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it for that. As I said, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Any more Secret Wars news?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, sound. So the other bit of news, Marvel, couple of bits of Marvel news. Firstly, there's been a lot of rumours floating around. We've talked about them for probably like 12 months now, about casting for Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So there's constantly things like saying this person's confirmed, that person's confirmed. I've seen a couple of rumours that Diego Luna apparently has been cast as Reed Richards.
Oh, okay.
That
I don't even know who that is.
That report. Andor.
Oh, okay.
Cassian Andor, yeah. So, yeah, that's what they're saying.
I could see that.
As well. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I could see it. But there's nobody out there who I'm 100% sold on, even Krasinski. I'm just not 100%. I'm nearly there, but I'm not 100% there. So, Murphy's Multiverse reported this week that according to another website, I've not heard of them before, Puck, it seems that Marvel are still casting for the 2025 release, so they have not set in stone any of the 4 major roles yet,
which makes sense.
It makes complete sense. It's not coming out for another 2 years. I mean, they're gonna have to start getting the shit together, basically. But I'm kind of happy about it because as I said, I'm not 100% sold.
Do you reckon
on
we
anybody.
Could potentially get Ewan back for
I think we'll get them all. I'll be very surprised if we don't. Not every. I don't think we're gonna get every actor from every
I was going to say,
Marvel
Chris
project.
Evans was
Johnny. I still think we'll see that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think it'd just be a really... I think they'd be missing a trick not to do it. I really do. I want to see it. Just as... Not like full-on, like, lines and everything like that.
Yeah.
Just when they're all assembling, they'll have, like... I'm sure that sometimes, for some of it, they'll just use all the visuals and put them all together, like they did in No Way Home. They didn't get Rhys Ifans back on set.
No.
They didn't get Thomas Hayden Church back on set.
I mean, a lot of that was because of COVID and stuff like that, but like, I get what you mean.
I think
and because of, like, the time gap between them.
Yeah.
Like, they'd potentially be too old for those roles now to try and... Not too old, but, like... Too old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they need to do something where when they're all sort of coming in, somebody at least looks over and is like, "What? What's he doing there? Who's that?" But it looks like Cap. They need to get something like that, definitely.
Or he just flies past it like flamed on and looks at Captain America and goes, "That's America's ass."
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. We've got to get Chris Evans back as Captain America for Secret Wars.
Where? Oh. So
is this another bit of news? That
Secret Wars, I
news is taking a lot of time, but go on.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's we just keep going, don't we?
There is also a rumor that RDJ's coming back as Tony.
I've seen that. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
I can see that happening.
Yeah, I could.
I don't want him. I don't want him
potentially
100%
bringing Tom
back.
Cruise in to do it as well.
I think
I
they'll
could
just
still
get
see
loads.
that.
It's the end of end of Phase 6. It's going to be. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be like 20 years into Marvel at that point. It's like they can do what they want. If it's still, if they're still making billion-dollar movies in another 10 years' time, they can do what they want.
Yeah, totally.
Anything they can. Bit of not unexpected, but probably sad-ish news to sort of wrap up news this week. Dave Bautista has confirmed that his time as Drax is 100% over, and he's kind of glad of it. So we did an interview with GQ this week to do all the promo for Glass Onion. Have you seen Glass Onion yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Very good.
Is it?
Yeah, not as good as Knives Out, but very good. So he said to GQ, he said, "I'm so grateful for Drax. I love him, but there's a relief that it's over. It wasn't all pleasant. It was a hard play in that role. The makeup process was beating me down, and I just don't know if I want to draw. Drax, it says draw. I want Drax to be my legacy. It's a silly performance, and I want to do more dramatic stuff. He wants to be seen as a serious actor now, which I get because he's good.
He is good.
He's really good in Glass Onion. He's not. I wouldn't say I'd see him as.
Onion, is he?
He's Glass Onion. Yeah.
I mean, the last thing that I saw.
He was doing the promo for Glass Onion. He didn't just see it and like the movie. And he was like, "I'll do some promo for it."
I didn't pay attention to that bit. Says, I mean, the last thing that I saw him in was that taxi thing.
What taxi thing?
Wasn't particularly fucking serious that either, was it?
I don't know what taxi thing you mean.
Was it Uber? No, something about Uber.
No, I don't know.
It's like an Uber driver.
No. Is it a series or a movie?
No movie, and then ends up in some big fight.
No, don't know it.
Okay.
Don't know. I'm
Look-
definitely going
look
to
it
have to look at that. I'm doing the
I mean,
IMDb check.
It's good, yeah.
Hang on, I'm
Do
doing
it, 'cause I
IMDb
need to know
check.
now, 'cause I
I've
need to
never
know what
heard
it's
of
called.
this. What's his name? Dave Bautista, that's it. I've just talked about
Not
him.
Paul Batista, like I said in like episode fucking 15.
Who's Paul Bautista?
Do you not remember me saying it?
No.
Yeah, I said in like episode 15 or something.
Right,
Back-
we're
back in the day.
doing the check. We're going back. How long ago was this?
Only a couple of years.
No, nothing. Oh, My Spy Escape Plan 3? No, can't see him. We'll find out. We might find out anyway. No, just Escape Plans. All he's done is WWE, Escape Plan, and Avengers.
That's really going on me now.
We'll have to figure that one out. But yeah,
Stuber. It's like Stupid Uber.
oh, okay, yeah, with Kumail Nanjiani, isn't it?
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, from Eternals.
I'm just going to say yes.
Yeah, let's go with yes. No, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a cab driver in it, but yeah, I know he was in that film. Yeah.
I knew there were...
There we go. Got it out. Didn't even need the IMDb check. We
There we
should have
go.
just relied on you. Sad to see him go, but not unexpected, as I said. And
well, to be fair, we talked about in the Guardians Christmas special. We talked about his outfit and the fact that he had that jacket on.
oh yeah, because he didn't want to sit
obviously it
through
was covering
hours and hours of
Yeah,
makeup.
yeah.
And they've all got different outfits in the Guardians 3 trailer, so I would imagine that it's going to be pretty straightforward makeup from there as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm sure that's not the only reason. I don't think he's a massive fan of Disney after them sacking James Gunn, is he? Still,
Yeah.
but he's contracted to do the films and that's it. Is that guaranteeing that he's going to die in the movie? Or are they going to give Drax a happy ending? You've had too much Baileys.
Only if he pays extra.
Call Ezra. No, I think Rocket's going to die in Guardians 3.
Do you?
Yeah, and I think Drax will just have a happy ending, basically. Not one of them. It's not that type of movie. With CGI rabbit people and stuff like that. It's definitely not that type of movie anymore. But yeah, I think that's what they'll do with him leaving. I think that's where they need to go. But we don't know. It's not that far to wait though.
I want him to die.
Oh, that's nice.
But
want him
like-
to die.
Doing his laughing charge into
Yeah,
some massive monster's mouth or
Yeah,
something.
I could see that as well.
And that's the only way for me. That's the only way to end it for Drax.
Yeah, no, but I could see we're
It's a death
We're
of
massive-
glory, and that's what he's always been.
the other thing I could see potentially is that we are in multiverse territory. We
And he
don't
finds
know
his
whether
wife and his kid.
Yeah, I could see that being. I could see that being the way
That made me cry.
But part of me is also thinking he's been very vocal at the fact that he's sort of done with Marvel. He doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't like Disney. Are they going to want that? Are Disney going to want to give that character that sort of ending, or are they going to be sort of a bit like screw you? Or will they just not have any sort of ending whatsoever, and then they just write him out in the next movie? Could see that as well. Not giving him any sort of glory. Hopefully they will, but we'll see. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I think they've got to do it for the fans rather than their immature arguments.
Fingers crossed they will. That's us done for news. Should we do our 2023 movie preview?
Yes.
Fantastic. So we're going to talk through all the comic book movies, superhero-ish movies of the year. We're doing just movies here, and then in our Patreon episode, which will be coming out straight after this episode, we will be talking mainly Marvel TV series for what's coming in 2023 as well. But we're not 100% sure what's coming out, but we'll talk to you about that in the Patreon episode. So movies then, year's kicking off. We've already talked about it with Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Yes.
Oh, they're still a while away, 17th of Feb. So it's still like 6 weeks.
It's not that long.
I know, but it just feels like we haven't had any. I suppose we had Wakanda Forever, didn't we?
I booked a week off that following week, 20th to 25th.
Good. The following week.
Yeah.
So we can do loads of podcasts on Quantumania. There you go. Always planning ahead. We've had, how many trailers have we had now? One. Yeah, we only had we've only had the one so far. There's a new trailer apparently coming on the 9th of January. Ooh. So days away. We'll review it next week.
Yeah.
And I would expect there's probably going to be a Super Bowl spot as well, because it's a week before or the weekend before the movie comes out. So there's bound to be something there. I'd avoid that like the plague if Marvel are going to do anything, because it'll give loads away. Yeah. But yeah,
I'll probably struggle to avoid that.
Yeah, I don't know. We can do it. We won't be covering that on the show, just to let you know.
Yeah, no.
But we'll try. Like we said, I mean, there's not. We've already talked about it a little bit. I'm excited for it. I'm expecting it to be sort of a big movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to start off silly, but then get serious when the stakes become high.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Described every movie ever. Every Marvel movie ever made.
No, but there's some stuff that where even when the stakes high, it's still a bit fucking stupid, isn't it?
Thor, Love and Thunder. Yeah.
It was so stupid.
It was so stupid.
But no, I think, yeah.
I'm expecting it to feel big because nothing apart from Wakanda Forever in Phase 4 has felt
they're going to be
big.
in the quantum realm. I
know, but I just feel not necessarily
although it's not
big
new
in
territory,
that way.
it's new territory for us.
No, but Doctor Strange was big because it was exploring those different universes. It didn't spend much time in them. It was a bit of a lie, but it's still it didn't feel massively important, and I feel like this is going to feel like a big, important, huge crux of the MCU going forward.
Yeah,
I hope it does anyway. I hope it's not just like, oh, he kills Kang in the last 10 minutes of the movie and then that's it.
I found out, by the way, just a little thing on, because you mentioned Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
You know, the eye of the monster at the beginning?
Yeah, wanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that, isn't it?
I thought that was dead clever. Didn't know that. But yeah, it's
gives you a little bit of more faith in Marvel doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're actually taking it.
Thought,
you sit there and you think they're just fucking rushing through all this. They're just trying to make as much money as possible.
Like,
and
no, they've
take
actually
the time
really thought about it
to do that. Yeah,
I was quite impressed with that.
Focus your efforts on a little bit more storytelling, like rather than just, oh, that'll look cool, and we won't tell anybody until 6 months after the movie comes out. But yeah, it was good. Good. Massively, massively excited for Ant-Man. Cannot wait. We've already talked about that a bit anyway. Let's get to DC. Shazam,
I'm
Fury of the Gods.
Dead excited for Shazam.
I am as well. Comes out a month after Ant-Man, so 17th of March. I'm very sad though, because it's the last
Is that
DC.
Paddy's Day?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
Trust you with the drink.
Oh, so it's
Like, when's the next drinking holiday? Saturday or Tuesday or whatever. Any day that ends with a Y, we're good. I'm sad because it's the last DC movie I actually care about.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I'm holding out hope for Blue Beetle. But I'm just not sure.
I've got a bit of hope for it, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit more about that because I've got a few opinions on Blue Beetle as to what it's going to do and where it's going to lead us. But I just think Shazam 1 was great. Yes. I really enjoyed Shazam 1, and this movie I think is going to be really good as well.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't play the silly card too much, which I can see
that
them
Helen
doing.
Mirren's playing a villain.
Helen Mirren's back. Lucy Liu is back.
Yes.
Helen Mirren's in it. Lucy Liu's in it as well.
Yeah.
So they're the Sisters of Atlas, and they're trying to destroy the world, and Shazam and the Shazam family. Shocker, because that's what the villains always do. And Shazam's obviously going to stop them. Something to do with they're trying to get a weapon to do it, and to stop them, Shazam and the Shazam family are going to have to get the weapon as well, or something like that. But also, the other sort of sub story that's going on in the movie is that the gods who granted him the power are all pissed off with him and the family because they're all taking the powers for granted. So they're using powers to charge mobile phones and get views on TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a bit of like that sort of story, which again feels like it's been done to a degree before, but
it's exactly what teens would do if they had superpowers in it.
Doesn't it kind of feel that that's always kind of where number 2 goes anyway with a lot of movies? It's like 90, not like Spider-Man 2 did it, but it's got that sort of feel of an old early 2000s like. Number 1 is about them discovering the powers.
The egos of them get the better of them.
And then they get cocky and they don't care anymore. And it's
then they lose what they had.
Spider-Man no more. Oh, no. Exactly, yeah. And I do need my powers. And then all of a sudden they get the powers and he doesn't need his glasses anymore. It's that, basically. But I'm still really excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit sad.
Do you know what makes me laugh, though? Could you imagine, like, a Shazam that's not American? Like, regional accent Shazam?
What, from
you know when they're shouting it?
Yeah.
Like if you're Shazam and you're like, Shazam!
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So we're probably going to talk about this with every movie apart from The Flash, every DC movie anyway. Could we not keep Zachary Levi as Shazam?
So, yes, I'd be on board with keeping him. The problem that they've got is they did bring. Well, they are bringing the other characters into the second one.
Write them out. It's not out yet.
And this is what I thought. Cut that little bit out.
Yeah.
The talk, because it's only talking about them and then flashes to them so that you see a glimpse of them.
Yeah, we can get rid of that. Because they've cut the cameos in, again, jumping ahead to the Flash, they've cut the cameos for Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill from Flash. That's sort of news, almost fact that happened because they were supposed to be there. So any sort of cameo, or you can mention them. You can still mention Wonder Woman and mention Superman but there's nothing. We've not seen Henry Cavill's face in the first one. There's nothing that ties Shazam 1 to this specific DC universe. It could be any DC universe with different actors. The only thing you've seen is a Superman suit that looked like Cavill's, but that's dead easy to explain away. You wouldn't even need to explain it. You could just ignore it.
Yeah.
Was it post-credit? Was it the very end of the movie? Or was it post-credit?
Something like that.
You could just
but it's the blue suit with the red cape in it, so
exactly. You could get around that so easily.
Yeah.
There's pretty much anybody who wasn't in the Justice League and Flash, as much as I don't want it, you could bring them forward into the next one. But whether they do or not, we don't know. You might get some clues when you see Shazam, but also later this month, which again we'll cover on the show, James Gunn has already confirmed that the first two or three projects will be confirmed this month.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to know really, really soon what's going on and where it's all going.
Yeah.
So moving on to not actually a superhero movie, but it's got super in the title. Super Mario Brothers the movie. That is our next one. That's 2 weeks after Shazam. That's going to ruin Shazam's box office. As much as people might not like Chris Pratt, and I'm not 100% on him in the role of Mario.
I am Mario.
it's gonna do so well.
And now
I could see Mario doing a bill. Easy.
Could you?
Yeah. I think it's going to be like the biggest movie of one of the biggest movies of the year. It's Mario.
Yeah, it is Mario.
It's made by made by Illumination.
Yeah.
They did Minions. They've got such a good rep. Minions and Sing. And then the Pets one that nobody watched. But yeah, they've got such a good reputation. And it's Mario. It's Minions and Mario mixed together.
Yeah.
It's, I just think it'll do really, really well.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. Ish. No, I think it'll be good. I've got the new trailer can't be that far away. We've only had one so far.
Yeah.
I think there's been a few clips released, but I'm 100% not sold on Chris Pratt.
No,
I've not got a problem. with Chris
sold
Pratt.
on everybody else we've seen so far.
Yeah, just not Chris Pratt as Mario,
which
and that's
is
not
the biggest friggin' decision to make
because he's not Italian or anything like that. If it had been Chris Pratt doing a Mario voice, I'd have been more okay with it.
Yeah,
as stupid as it would have sounded, and as much shit as it would have got, I'd have been okay with it. But it doesn't need to be the Mario voice. What's his face? Charlie Day's doing Luigi. Yeah, and I know we only heard a clip, 30 seconds, or probably not even that, like 5 seconds of him. It sounded great.
Yeah,
I was completely on board with that version of Luigi. Yeah. Chris Pratt doing Chris Pratt's normal voice, though, is not. I think it was
more the fact that he did that interview where he said we were going to be so excited with what he's done.
And it was just Chris Pratt.
And it was just him.
It was just, literally just Chris Pratt from anything. He probably didn't even go to the recording booth. He just took bits from every other movie Chris Pratt's done. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm going to say this about every movie pretty much, but I genuinely am excited about this one. I've got high expectations of it.
Mate, I'm just excited about Bowser.
Jack Black as Bowser. Amazing.
Perfect.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. You literally, the casting is, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Every bit of casting is spot on.
I just want one of his barrels to hit someone and you just hear the Seth Rogen laugh.
Yeah, that's 100% is going to happen. It's definitely
so
going to
happy
happen.
With that.
I think it's going to be a really good movie, and as I said, I think it's going to be one of the biggest.
Yeah,
one of the biggest, and it's going to, as I said, it's going to destroy Shazam because it's 2 weeks later. Just that's gone, then that's dead.
Yeah,
I don't think that many people are going to watch it anyway.
I think the nail in the coffin for the old DC is going to be a big problem for the ones that are still to come.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem. People just go, well, it's not going anywhere, so why watch it?
I wonder if after, there's no way they're not releasing Flash. It's just 100% happening. But if after James Gunn, let's say that James Gunn next week comes out and goes, right, it's a full reboot, which I think is probably where he's going to go. It's a full reboot. Everything else coming out this year is still coming out.
Yeah.
Because we've spent money on it.
Yeah.
But none of it's going to matter. We're doing a fresh reboot. It's going to be end of 2024, start of 2025.
Yeah.
All new characters, all new actors. That's us. And then if Shazam comes out and to a degree bombs because Mario comes out 2 weeks later and just destroys its box office, I wonder if they will rethink releasing Blue Beetle and Aquaman at the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe.
And just sort of take the tax break like they did with Batgirl. Don't know. We'll
Use
see.
Shazam as like a bit of a guinea pig.
Yeah, pretty much. Talking about James Gunn then, 5th of May, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We've already talked about it a little bit.
It's going to be totes
Yeah, James Gunn's final MCU movie for a start, because he's never coming back. It's not happening.
No.
Probably the last ever Guardians movie.
Probably.
In the form that we know them.
Yeah.
Suppose we could get a new team of Guardians.
Yeah.
Don't know whether I want it though.
No.
Kind of just go with something. It's the first thing that I would actually sit there and go, I don't want them anymore. I love the Guardians.
Yeah.
But I don't want somebody other than James Gunn doing it. And if you're going to start losing characters like 100% Drax and probably Rocket,
yeah,
do we really want it anymore?
Yeah.
Or do we just want them to pop up? I don't want a Star-Lord solo film. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm quite happy with Star-Lord just popping up in other movies right up until the end of Phase 6.
Yeah.
Look at Black Widow and Hawkeye. That's all they did until Phase 4, didn't they? They just popped up. You still knew the characters. You still really enjoyed the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with the rest of the characters, because they're not just going to kill off all those. Not kill them off, but to a degree, some of them, I suppose. But they're just not going to sit there and go, right, that's it, Star-Lord's done and stuff like that. They've got to continue with them somehow. But it'll be interesting to see. Who do you think is gonna die? Who's gonna die? Are we going with Rocket? We convinced Rocket.
I don't know. We're getting backstory of Rocket, so it seems to make sense that he could be on the line.
Okay.
Because getting his whole story before and after is then going to wrap up his story, really, isn't it? So it could potentially be a thing, and then obviously Drax. But I'm still going off the colours of the logo, because it has matched the deaths. Yeah, and it is the colours of Drax this time round. So to me, that's telling me Drax is gone.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah,
gonna be loads of deaths. I was just thinking as well, though, isn't it kind of good and old Marvel style? Do you even know what the story is for Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Well, I don't know.
Other than Rocket's backstory.
Adam's back.
Yeah, we're getting Black Adam.
No.
Adam who? Not Black Adam, sorry. No,
yeah.
Adam Warlock. Freaking hell. Yeah, I was literally looking at you then. I was like,
confused.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No? It's Black Adam. That's a surprise. The Rock, Black Adam just pops up and just takes over. The hierarchy of power in the MCU is going to change. We know the characters, so we know that what's he called?
I mean, my impression is just he's there for revenge.
Yeah, I would guess so, but we don't know what the actual story is or where it's going. But I like
and Gamora.
That. Yeah, we
know we're going to see Gamora again.
Yeah.
But who?
What do you mean?
Why is Gamora?
No, it's Gamora. It's Gamora from Endgame.
Yeah.
And she's now the leader of the Ravagers. So we know that.
I didn't.
Yeah, she got her own team of like Ravagers. It was in the trailer that came out at Thingy.
Okay, I didn't get that from the trailer.
That trailer's coming. Have we seen a full trailer?
I don't know.
Oh no, maybe it wasn't in that trailer.
We have seen a trailer.
I think it was in the trailer that came out at
is it the
SDCC.
The cam one that was seen?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. I couldn't see the whole thing really, so it was a bit.
But that'll be trailer number 2.
Yeah.
We'll 100% watch trailer number 2. So I'm just trying to get around the fact that I haven't spoiled the movie for you. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I like the fact that we don't know for certain where it's going with it.
Yeah.
And it feels like we've got a little bit of secrecy back with Marvel, which is nice. What?
I just don't understand why Gamora is still there then.
Well, still where? In the film?
In our land? In our universe?
Because she got stuck. She got stuck there.
So how did she...
Well, she's in the same universe. She's not from a different universe. She came from 2012. So Thanos in Endgame. I've explained Avengers Endgame.
No. Right. So
they all came over from 2012.
Listen. So if she came from 2020
2020. And you, one of us, was going to do that, and I thought it'd be you because you just necked that Bailey's.
From 2012.
Yeah.
Then the Gamora that we knew ceased to exist because it's changed their timeline.
No, that's not how time travel works in the MCU.
And the TVA never popped up.
That's not
to
how.
Take her away.
That's not how. Yeah, well, she could still be running from the TVA. We don't know that. That could be how it all links together.
Loki could be chasing her.
That's not how. Yeah, that's not how time travel works in the MCU, though, because that's why they said they couldn't just go back and kill Thanos as a baby. Because if they'd gone back and killed Thanos as a baby, then that it would have all been over and they wouldn't have had to worry about it. What they had to do, that timelines, it's separate timelines. So as soon as a different decision is made, it's technically, I suppose it's another universe like the multiverse, but it's a different timeline. So by bringing that Gamora forward to 2012, that other Gamora still died, the original one, and now 2012 Gamora is still in 2023, which is where it was set. And when Tony wished everybody away, he wished Thanos' army away. And
she wasn't
the rumor
Thanos'
is that
army.
because she basically sided with the Avengers at that stage, then she didn't die.
Okay.
And then she's not wanted to stay with Peter. She's wanted to go off and do her own thing because she's not had that life.
First time you missed. Second time you got the phone.
Exactly. Yeah, she's not had that life. But yeah, so that's not far away at all. Not long after that, 2nd of June, we've got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We've had a new trailer for this. We've had loads of posters for this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hyped for this one?
I am, yeah.
It's more Spideys than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's good in the sense that there's going to be loads of different Spideys.
Yeah.
But my two, not issues with it, but two reasons why I'm a bit cautious of it are, firstly, are Sony going to think we can just throw loads of Spiders at them here and it'll just make everybody happy and nostalgia. We'll get 90s Spider-Man, we'll get the Insomniac game Spider-Man, and everyone will just be okay because we're throwing all these different Spider-Mans at them. And then the other thing is, this is a two-parter. This is a definite two-parter, yeah. So this is Across the Spider-Verse, and then there's another one, something I can't remember what it's called.
At the end of the Spider-Verse.
Something like that, yeah. There's another one coming out next year, so it's not that long away either.
Oh, okay.
And it's very much seen as part 1 and part 2. And I'm okay with them ending on a cliffhanger. I'm okay with that specifically if they're going to be quite close together.
Yeah.
But sometimes when they do movies like that, the first one is just all story and talking and not much great stuff and a bit of a shit action scene. My head just goes back to Matrix 2.
Yeah.
That sort of part 2 of 3. Do you know what I mean? Where nothing really happens.
Yeah.
It's all just build up and juxtaposition and stuff like that. It's like, I've got a little bit of a concern that that's where
unless they take a leaf out of Infinity War's book.
Yeah.
And that's where you'd be like...
Yeah. Because Infinity War
But don't just go down
close.
the route of every Spider-Man that's ever existed is being deleted from history.
There you go. Well, I mean, didn't even know I don't think we even know what the story is, but that's clearly where it's going to go now, isn't it? Spider-Man 2099. There's too many 20s. 2099. I haven't even had a drink. 2099 seems to be the bad guy from the trailers, which is weird because he didn't seem to be the bad guy at the end of number 1. But again, we don't know. But there's not long.
I think I need to watch the first one again.
The third, right? This is what gives me hope.
Wasn't
the
there
first one?
Spider Pig?
Yeah, there was Spider Pig. Yeah, Spider Ham. The first Spider-Verse was fantastic.
It was. I remember it being really good.
I actually think it's
the
the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. It's better than No Way Home. Doesn't have the nostalgia factor. It's great. I honestly cannot fault that movie.
Oh.
It's absolutely fantastic. If they did that, if they'd done that movie in live action, it just would have
been perfect.
Yeah. It was really, really good though. And that's what it's got me excited, but a little bit cautious about it as well.
Yeah.
Not long after that, everything's not long after because that's just how it goes. Same month, 23rd of June, The Flash. Do we need to talk more about The Flash? I've literally, my notes for The Flash are, I still can't believe this is happening. And I'm not lying. I can't believe this movie is actually going to come out.
And as if Michael Keaton's still in it.
I suppose the good thing about Shazam bombing would be that they might think, let's not bother with Flash.
I think that's
it's
too far
happening
gone.
This, isn't it? Oh, why does it have to happen?
I think they've pushed it too hard now, and they can't go. We're going to go back on our word.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't want it. I don't want it. Again, I think I don't know. I think if we end up...
Don't worry, it'll be over in a flash.
It won't be, though. It's probably going to be like some 3-hour shit fest, basically. I just wonder...
get Michael Keaton. That's the bit I'm holding out for. We get Michael Keaton.
That should be... I mean, he's an absolute legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think if James Gunn comes out and sort of implies this month that we're releasing The Flash, but it's got nothing to do with the DCU going forward, I think I'll be more excited for it then, because it'll just be a car crash to watch.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If it's good, that's absolutely fine. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a bad movie.
And if it's bad, it'll be a dead good podcast.
Yeah, it'll be even better. It'll be even better if it's bad.
Yeah.
But I don't mind if it's good. I could see it potentially being a really, really good movie, this.
Yeah.
But I could also see it being a complete shit show.
Yeah.
And either way, particularly, if it doesn't matter anymore, either way, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
If it somehow is going to continue the rest of the DC studios or DCU, whatever we're calling it, I'll be very... something astonishing. It needs to be fantastic. Yeah. Because if it's shit, and that's the starting point for the new DCU, you've just failed.
May as well, you may as well just pack up and go home now.
Exactly, yeah. And there's a lot of people who aren't going to watch it, so it's going to potentially bomb to a degree, because a lot of people, because of what Ezra's done, don't want to go and watch this movie and don't want to give it any money. But then it's hard because there's a lot of other production team and production staff who have been involved with it who haven't gone and started a cult.
It's really hard because you have the same argument with anything. I mean, there was a lot of arguments when all the R. Kelly stuff came out. And, they were saying, we're just going to boycott his music. And I just think it's not one person that makes that music.
No, there's a lot of people.
There's a team of 40 to 50 people.
Yeah.
And they are no longer recognised for that piece of work because he's a piece of work.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just think that's a real shame.
It's gonna, whatever happens.
I get it, but it's a shame.
Going to be amazing to watch. Even more so with shit. Back to Marvel then. So 28th of July, we've got the Marvels. I forgot about this. I'd written this down and I've just gone back onto IMDb really quickly to just check it is actually coming out this year. It is coming out this year.
Yeah, it is.
28th of July.
I'm so excited for Marvels.
This is I'm least excited for this over.
Do you know why? Because I really like Monica Rambeau. And I really want to know what her story next is.
I do. She was great in WandaVision.
She was.
And as much as I wasn't a huge...
But I'm intrigued. I want to know what happened between her and...
Yeah, I want to know that. But it fit... And this is... Right, so...
I want to see him be like, oh, it's you. Hey, bitch tits.
I want to know the information, I do want to know that. Right, I quite enjoyed Captain Marvel 1.
Yeah.
I think Brie Larson's great.
Yeah.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Just a complete brain fart then. And I enjoyed Monica Rambeau in WandaVision. Yeah. I thought Ms. Marvel was great in the character.
Yeah.
But it feels like because whatever she's calling now, Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel, were TV shows.
Can they hold up for the movie?
I don't feel like it's a case of can they carry the movie, because Iman Vellani was absolutely brilliant as Ms. Marvel. I couldn't remember what her character's name was. Kamala Khan, wasn't it? Yeah. Just disappeared out of my head. I could remember Iman Vellani and Ms. Marvel, but I couldn't get Kamala. They were the best parts. I don't think Monica Rambeau was the best part of WandaVision, but that was a solid show throughout. Yeah. And she was a fantastic part of it. And Iman Vellani was legitimately one of the best parts of Ms. Marvel. The fault I had with it aside, she was fantastic.
Yeah, there was no qualms with there at all.
It just doesn't feel like either character, not saying they're not important enough, but not big enough. Does that make sense? But it's then, like they've made a movie off the back of a TV series, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's where it seems to go for me.
I get what you mean. For me, I mean, at the end of the day, it is essentially Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I think that what they've realised is, because of the events of Endgame and stuff like that, there's nothing big that they can give Captain Marvel at the moment for its position within the storyline as the overarching storyline. So the best thing to do is bring two other characters in to have their own...
I think it will have massive ramifications, though, because of the bands. Because of the bangle. That's got to have something to do with the rings and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be big. And again, I'm glad that we don't know much about it. I like that.
So do you think that because obviously it was Captain Marvel that was looking at the signal,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So is the bangle something to do with the signal?
She
And
could have
finds
gone
that out when she meets
Well,
Kamala.
they've swapped places, haven't they?
Yeah.
So not a body swap.
No.
They've swapped places in the universe, basically. Potentially even a different universe or a different dimension.
Yeah.
Then I asked one of our listeners, Nate, about this, one of our patrons, because he's like, he knows everything about Marvel, but he's moving house. He's just moved house. So congrats on the new house, Nate. But I had to do a bit of research on my own on this. It's been ages since I've done research. You were the last one to do research. So my understanding is the original Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel when it was a dude, his human counterpart, it wasn't a human who turned into Captain Marvel. The superhero Captain Marvel was in a different dimension, and the human would swap places with him when he needed his superpowers. So it was a different person who came. It's kind of like a bit Shazam-y to a degree.
Yeah.
But which again was Captain Marvel, isn't it, from DC?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same person. So he just traded places. So it was like this alternate dimension, and Captain Marvel's superhero would just sit in this alternate dimension waiting to be called.
Yeah.
And then when he was called, the human went to that dimension until Captain Marvel was finished.
Yeah.
And they're kind of going along those lines to a degree, but it's potentially anyway, but it's different. It's different characters completely, both superpowered. But I think that could lend itself really well towards the whole multiverse, because it could literally be different dimensions. What if Captain Marvel, who appeared in Kamala's bedroom, is a variant Captain Marvel from another dimension?
Well, yeah.
Or what if she's just gone to, suppose she could have gone to another multiverse to explore what it was? I think it's going to have big ramifications for the MCU going forward. I really do.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like it now. The more I'm talking about it now and sort of theorizing about it, the more excited I am for it.
Yeah.
It's just not something that's been massively on my radar.
I just think that we'll do all this about what we think it's going to be, and then it's going to be something dead mundane and not complicated.
Yeah, potentially.
And although, that's what's happened pretty much every single time that we've theorized on something, and it's been something that's not quite as exciting. It's still been really good, but it's not been as, what's the word I'm looking for? Not optimistic, like trying to go for it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Oh.
How many Baileys have we had? The listeners probably know. Do you think it's a bit of a risk having that as the big summer MCU movie? I mean, that's like the big one. It's July. It's like it's the last MCU movie of the year for a start, but also it's like
is it the last one for the year? We've got nothing until the following year.
No, I'm going through my list unless I've missed something, but no, that's the last. That's the last one of the year. Yeah, July.
We've got a big gap.
We've got TV series. We've got a couple of series coming out towards the end of the year, which we'll talk about on the Patreon. But yeah, I just think they're going to have to market the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I also think that Ant-Man Quantumania and Guardians are going to have to somehow let us know that the story is going to continue in the Marvels. They're going to have to highlight that that's where it is. I'd be massively surprised if Captain Marvel or Monica Rambeau or Kamala aren't in a post-credit scene for either Guardians or Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Because you've got to.
Wouldn't it be interesting if we find out that the reason that the swap happened was because Captain Marvel was getting close to Kang, but Kang wanted the bracelet, and the way he could mess that up was swap them round.
Who triggered the swap?
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? Ooh, interesting. Cool. Going on to something completely different now.
Okay, yeah.
Forgot this was coming out. I won't be surprised if this gets delayed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem is out on the 4th of August. So this is animated, produced by Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Which is good. Not directed. He's just producing it. So it's being directed by Jeff Rowe and Kyle Spears. I don't really know much of what they've done. Kyle Spears directed The Mitchells vs. the Machines on Netflix. You've not seen it?
No.
Really good. Again, 2D animated. Really, really good. Won loads of awards.
Okay.
There's no one knows what it's about. No one knows much of anything. Some concept art did leak.
Oh, I saw some concept art because it had I can't remember his name.
I've not seen
the brain guy.
Donatello?
No.
Oh, Kang. The brain guy?
Yeah.
I'm just going to start throwing out the
little weird and mushy thing that was in the mechanical body.
Yeah, Kang.
Is that his name?
Yeah. No, Krang. There you go. That was close. It was close. Krang.
I'm sure I've seen something along those lines.
Maybe. I haven't seen any of it.
But I don't know.
The art style is being compared to Spider-Verse, though.
Yes,
which
makes sense to
makes complete
what
sense.
I saw.
Yeah.
Because it was 3D-ish. It wasn't completely like cartoon animated 2D. It wasn't. Yeah.
We don't need like a full like Toy Story type thing, do we? I like the animated style.
Yeah,
It's what I mean, as good as the old 90s
It's like
Turtles
comic
movies
book leaping
were.
off the page.
Yeah,
that's what it's like.
Which
and
is
I
what
quite
Turtles
like that.
was originally, wasn't it? It was all made off the back of the comic book, which was seen as a bit of a joke. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I just think we would have, if it was coming out in August. I know it's almost a year away. I just feel like we'd have seen more of it and heard more of it by now.
I've got Turtle in a half shell.
I just think it'll be delayed.
Who's April? Do we know? Who's doing voicing of April?
No, we don't know anything.
Nothing at all.
We don't know anything. Seth Rogen is bound to be voicing somebody if he's producing it.
Yeah.
Don't know which one. Don't know who it would. It's got to be one of Bebop or Rocksteady.
That's exactly what I was thinking. One of the two. Yeah.
Rocksteady, the warthog one.
Yeah.
100. Does he
But
want to
then
do
he's
the
just done
warthog?
Pumba, hasn't he?
That'd be perfect though. 100% on board.
Hakuna Matata.
Yes, they've got to get that in. That'll happen. That's 100% going to happen. Right, back to DC. Last DC. Oh no, it's not last DC movie of the year. So Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle is 18th of August at the moment.
Oh, I've just remembered the other one.
What the last
the other
movie
DC of the year? Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
What did you think the DC movie of the year was? Have I missed one?
It might not be DC now. Yeah.
Go on. Who is it?
No, it's not. It's Sony. I get mixed up all the time between
got that.
DC and Sony.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle. Sholo Mariduena from Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Really good in Cobra Kai. He's
still not seen that.
He's the main character. Oh, it's so good.
No, but I've still not seen Karate Kid, so I need to watch that too.
So good. They're a bit of a struggle because they're so old. But yeah, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is the worst TV series I've ever seen, but it's the best TV series I've ever seen. That is how that's the only way I can sum it up. It's awful, but it's brilliant because it knows it's shit.
Yeah.
And it just plays on it. Again, whether it's going to be happening or not, we don't know. They've had some recent test screenings, there's been some rumours of, and they've gone down extremely well.
Oh, have they?
That's what the rumours are saying.
That's exciting.
Yeah. This...
And I'm... Oh, sorry, I got too excited then.
What was that?
But with Blue Beetle being so far away, I've thought about this.
Yeah.
Can that get away with being part of the new...
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because it's far enough away that we can sever any ties to any previous films.
Yeah.
And that can just be like a...
Not even being far away, the fact that it's a new character being introduced to DCU. They could do it if it was coming out in 2 weeks, but it just gives them, like you're completely right, it gives them more time to do I don't even know if it's finished filming yet.
Yeah.
But they've got bags of time to do rewrites, reshoots.
Yeah. Anything they need to just make it a standalone.
Do they want Blue Beetle being the first movie, though, of the new DCU? And then having Aquaman come out after it, and it's different DC universes.
Do you know what? I'd actually be okay with it, because it'd be like we see this cool superhero guy, and then we find out that there's a team that he really looks up to, and then it introduces them, and maybe one of the first new films that they do is him being brought to the base of operations or something like that, and being introduced to them, and that being a...
James Gunn has said we're not doing origin stories anymore. We're not relaunching
so
this. So
he could be walking into this thing where it's already a wall of fame for them. Yeah.
He could be the introduction to an existing Justice League.
He could be in the... Like, it could be a big joke in a way of he's trying to become this superhero, and then everyone starts calling him the Blue Beetle, and he's like, bit of a shit name. Make a joke about the fact that it's not a fantastic name, and he's like, I want to be up there with Wonder Woman, with Superman.
No, Spider-Man. But
and all that, and then it can end with him just getting a letter saying you've been invited to Metropolis. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Because you can't have
along those lines. Because you can't have a cameo with somebody.
It's still 8 months away. You could do.
Maybe.
They filmed the shawarma scene for Avengers.
But you could get away with it being some clever invitation or something. And that could even be an end of credit clip, and just be like, there you go. He's now been invited to meet all the others, and we could go and meet them with him.
What a way to announce the new Batman
100%.
Or the new Superman. 100%. No one knows, just actor pops up at the end of it.
How good would it be if it was the butler that turns up and says...
Alfred, Nick Fury style at the end of
it. Yeah. And says, listen, my...
I'd be completely on board with that.
My boss wants to meet you.
Grown,
he's heard good things.
Man-child, billionaire man-child he looks after, I look after. Yeah. But you could do that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do that. There's so many possibilities with that.
But also, if it's shit, they can just write it off.
Mate, he could be he could be pulled to one side by Lex Luthor at the end.
Yeah.
And be told
anything.
he's making superheroes, but then is put on the wrong side of the team.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different options you could do with it.
Very, very Tom Holland style as well, wouldn't it be? Because he's a young kid, very
impressionable.
Yeah. It with that again would have been a fantastic way to start off. It's not a big enough name, not Sholo.
Could you imagine if it was Robin that came to get him?
Anything,
and
like
it
that.
Introduced a Robin.
Anything.
We haven't had a Robin.
I know, yeah,
for so long.
Could be anything. So much potential with that movie.
Yeah.
Just again, hopefully we'll know more about it in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, loads of potential for it. Let's go through something to knock our potential. Kraven the Hunter, 6th of October. I've got one word: Morbius. Come on, guys, are we doing this?
Give us Morbius.
This universe needs to die.
Oh God,
more than the DCU.
Honestly,
let's not do this. We've got Kraven
I'd
the Hunter.
watch The Flash over any Sony film.
Yeah, I would.
Not any Sony film, but any of the...
We've got... There's another Sony film coming out after it, which is going to be decent. We've got this. We've got Madam Web coming out next year. We've got... Donald Glover has now officially signed on to play another Spider-Man villain called the Hypno Hustler. He's getting his own movie. I'm not kidding. That's what the Hypno Hustler is getting his own.
Isn't he about 70 now?
Movie in this. What Donald? No, not Donny Glover. Donald Glover. I'd watch it though.
What a tit! I'm so sorry.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
That's like Jumanji, man.
That'd be amazing. Just him as like a really miserable old super villain.
The background is playing Every Day I'm Shuffling.
It's so good. I'd watch that. Sorry. Definitely. I don't even know what to say about Kraven the Hunter. I mean, he's not a hunter. He's an animal rights activist.
I have no idea who Donald Glover is now.
Donald Glover. He was Childish Gambino.
Who?
Childish Gambino. He's a rapper. He was in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta. He's the main character in Atlanta. Donald Glover. Come on, you must know what Donald Glover. Right, we're doing the IMDb.
Atlantis.
Show. Atlanta.
Yeah. What's that?
You've 100% seen Donald Glover. He was in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
As who?
As Miles' uncle. So you know
the policeman.
No.
Oh.
When he webs the dude's hand to the back of the car, to the boot.
Oh yeah.
And he does the scary voice.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not a girl, boy. That's Donald Glover. And he says, I've got a nephew. He's like, I'm glad somebody's trying to fight crime and stuff like that because I've got a young nephew. So that is Miles Morales' uncle.
Okay.
Yeah. But everybody thought he would somehow be going forward in the MCU because he's is it the Jackal? Or whatever he is, because Miles' uncle in Spider-Verse is one of the bad guys.
Okay.
So people thought that's where he was going to go. But no, he is Spider-Verse, but he's going to be the Hypno Hustler instead. That's never going to happen. But that's, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like that Aunt May movie that was going to happen.
Was there an Aunt May movie?
They were going to do an Aunt May movie, yeah.
With which Aunt May?
Oh, I don't know, some new person probably. New? Yeah, they were going to do an Aunt May movie about her like solving crimes and stuff.
I loved Sally Field as Aunt May.
There was a comic about Aunt May when she was young. Yeah, I can't remember what the comic's called. I'll find out. I got told this and I was like, I don't believe it. And it's pretty much, and they reckon it's where Madam Web's probably going to end up going. There's the story in that, but in this comic, it's like Aunt May when she was like 17.
Yeah,
and she's like with Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
and she's mates with. I don't think she's related to, but she's mates with Peter's mum and dad.
Right,
and it turns out that I'm sure in the story, it turns out that Peter is May's kid. And for some reason, Peter's mum and dad end up taking the kid instead of May and Ben, and then Peter ends up with back. But it's not like confirmed that it is Peter, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's all like left to your own imagination to a degree.
Okay.
I've heard good reviews about it. Really weird, apparently, but yeah, good reviews. I still don't want to move.
What happens in it though?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's probably
sounds like Gossip Girl rather than.
I think that's where it goes. I think that's kind of where it is. What sort of thing it is.
Okay.
I don't want to see it.
No.
But that's Madam Web. There you go. There's the story of Madam Web. I don't want Kraven the Hunter. Hopefully Aaron Taylor-Johnson gets Bond and then he can leave this universe. But that's Sony as well.
Is it? Bond Sony?
Oh, yeah. What if there's like a deal?
Oh.
I think it's Sony. Might be wrong. Was it MGM? No, it's MGM.
I thought that.
Yeah, let's just get him go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give Aaron Taylor Johnson would be a fantastic choice for Bond anyway.
I could see him messing with his cuffs.
Give him James Bond, and then that way he can't do Kraven the Hunter anymore, and the Spider-Verse can just die. Onto a good Sony movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, slated for the 20th of December this year.
This year?
Again. Not convinced, but we have got a year, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman is not Ivan Reitman, he's dead. R.I.P. Jason Reitman, his son.
R.I.P.
He wrote and directed the first one.
Yeah.
He
I can't remember his son's name now. And I didn't
Jason
know
Reitman.
Jason, sorry, yeah.
He was supposed to be directing this one.
Yeah.
But after his dad passed, he's decided not to do it. So he's handed it to a guy called Gil Keenan. He wrote the first one with Jason Reitman.
Okay.
And he's also directed a few things in the past. He's directed recently A Boy Called Christmas. Not seen it, saw the posters. But he directed Monster House.
Okay.
Which was brilliant. Monster House. Really, 15 years old, but it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So he's on board to direct now. Afterlife cast are all expected to return. I would expect that you're probably going to get Ernie Hudson back. I don't think you'll get Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray back.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
fine with that.
I think you need Ernie Hudson because of where the
way it was
ended.
left. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need Ernie back. But I'm completely okay with it just being him. I don't need Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. Happy if they want to come back for it. Great.
Yeah. Another little cameo.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
All good with it. Not essential. If we'd got to the end of the first one,
even if it was
I would have been disappointed.
Like for me, something like him doing a TV spot.
Yeah.
Bill Murray doing a TV spot to be like, the Ghostbusters are back. Yeah. Because he always saw himself as the face, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was always like the egotistical. So if he's the one getting on the telly to advertise the next ones, like I could see something like that. If they did with Bill Murray some sort of rehash of the original advert that they did as like a piss take to it, yes, I'd be in for all that. And that's all you see of him.
That's it, yeah.
Like, but with the kids doing it with him instead.
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be brilliant. But that'd be enough. I don't want to go down the nostalgic route.
I don't think he wants to do it.
Doesn't he?
No, I mean, I think he probably did. I mean, the rumours they were trying to do Ghostbusters 3 for years.
Yeah,
it was always Bill Murray who didn't want to come back for it.
Yeah.
And I think now that they've gone him back for the last one, I don't think they'll get him back. I think Dan Aykroyd would do it in a second. Don't think they'll get him back for it, though, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I think it's moving on.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think you need Ernie Hudson for it.
Yeah. And as I say, I don't want it to be all nostalgia this time.
No,
it needs to be
I don't want it to be Vigo. Let's not do Vigo.
The only thing I'd be happy with is the return of Slimer.
Yeah. And Lewis Tully.
Eric, no.
Moranis. Rick Moranis.
Rick
Moranis. He's the only one I want back.
Yeah.
I want Ernie Hudson. I want Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Bring Rick Moranis. Ryan Reynolds did it for a mobile phone commercial. Get him back.
But his reasons are different, aren't they?
Yeah, but
then his kids must be grown up now.
His kids are well grown up now.
So just come and
he came back for a mobile phone commercial. Have you seen it?
No.
You never seen the Rick Moranis commercial?
No.
It's I can't remember what this. It's called Mint, I think.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, because he just owns everything now. He's like The Rock, but people don't hate him for it. Because he's not. He's not got
people donate.
No. In this, so he's launched his own mobile phone network in the States, or maybe in Canada, and it's called Mint.
Yeah.
And in this advert, it's basically him. And then he goes, he's like, I'm Ryan Reynolds. This is my new mobile phone network, Mint. And here, out of retirement, I've got Rick Moranis. And Rick Moranis just walks on and he goes, I'm not going to talk about the network or anything like that, but how cool is it? I've got Rick Moranis out of retirement. And that's it. And he's just like, hiya. And he's like, that's it. Nothing else to say. See you later. Bye. And that's the whole advert.
That's amazing.
And it's like, you don't need to say anything else.
You've got Rick Moranis out of retirement. Fair play to him, though. Like Ryan knows what he's doing, doesn't
exactly.
He? Like, I just love him for that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, he was in The Proposal with Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
Right.
I've seen that.
You know that Betty White was in it as well?
Yes.
There is a bit where essentially she kind of motorboats him in an outtake.
Movie?
Yeah,
okay, an outtake.
And he's like, and then she starts calling Sandra Bullock a whore.
No, I've not seen it.
And him and Betty White together are like the most wholesome thing I've ever seen in my life.
I can imagine. They'd be amazing.
If they had had a show together,
you'd watched it.
I I'd been number one at foam finger in the audience. I'd have been there.
As soon as I finished watching Danny Glover as the Hypno Hustler, I'd watch that.
I can't swim, and I would have swum to the States.
Yeah, I suppose it would have
to watch them too.
It would have been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Afterlife sequel, looking forward to it. Not convinced it'll come out this year, though.
No.
Something else I'm not convinced is going to happen this year. Last superhero movie of the year, Aquaman 2. Lost Kingdom? Is that what it's called? It is. Let's go with that. It is now. It's not really going to come out anyway. No one knows where it's going.
The Lost movie.
No one knows where it's going. It was supposed to come out this year. It was supposed to come out this Christmas.
I thought it was supposed to come out about 7 years ago.
It's supposed to come out this Christmas, or at least the last release date was December 21st, 2022. And it's now been put back to Christmas Day 2023 in the States and the 29th in the UK. It's been put back a whole year. It's had God knows how many reshoots. Ben Affleck wasn't in it, then Ben Affleck was back in it, and then test screenings got done, and Ben Affleck wasn't in the test screenings. So God knows what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'll be surprised if this movie sees light of day.
I think some of it was to do with the whole Amber Heard thing as well. Because it was very negative press.
Is she even in it?
Well, we don't know, because there were rumours that she was being replaced in the end, wasn't there? Well, but then it was never continued, so I don't think that there was anything behind that.
We talk about The Flash being a mess, but this is the one to kill.
Yeah.
Especially, do you know what? Especially if you're going to keep Jason Momoa in the DCU as Lobo.
Yeah.
This is the one you can get away with killing.
And do you know what? When you look at the technique that was done for Wakanda Forever, with the underwater people, compared to Aquaman, it's a whole other level.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad in Aquaman, to be fair. I've not seen it in Aquaman, but in Justice League, in the Snyder Cut of Justice League, it all looked pretty decent. Not a patch on Wakanda Forever. It wasn't
bad. However, this took it all to a new level.
Yeah,
and depending on what they've done with Aquaman 2, they know it's going to be compared at the end of the day.
Of course,
they know that Namor was essentially the Aquaman kind of character.
Kill it.
But yeah, let's
just kill it. Let's have the Flash. Let's shoot a cameo in the Flash of when he's traveling through all these different universes, because that is the rumor as to what's going to happen. There's going to be a shot where he's traveling through all these different universes using the Speed Force, and you see Christopher Reeve's Superman, you see Keaton's Batman, you'll see every basically other DC incarnation. Let's have it so that when he's doing that, he sees Blue Beetle. Just to say that's a different universe.
Yeah.
Give us that shot of Blue Beetle, wrap it up with the Flash.
Yeah.
That's your little continuation to a degree that this is a separate universe. Kill Aquaman.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
Sound. Easy. Yeah. James Gunn, give us a bell. You've liked us on Twitter once, that's fine. That's it then. That's 2023 wrapped up for movies.
Yeah.
Go on, really quick. Most excited for and least excited for?
Oh, I'm most excited. I am actually most excited for Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Yeah. I think I'm probably... It's a toss-up between that and The Flash. Purely because it's going to be a car crash. I'm really looking forward to watching it now.
And least is Craven.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No competition.
Yeah. If I put it this way, if we didn't do this podcast, I wouldn't be watching Craven. No way. Absolutely no way whatsoever. Brilliant. Should we see what the listeners thought? Should we do Pod Fans Assemble?
Yes.
Pod Fans Assemble.
So Bargain Bin Harley Quinn said, the Ant-Man films have always been the MCU's comfort food, but I have a feeling Quantumania is going to be an absolute game changer. Really excited for the Marvels as well. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will probably reduce me to a puddle of emotions.
I think it will.
I totally agree with that.
I do.
And
loving all the Marvel
I've
stuff,
had a drink and it's much harder to read.
No, I'm sitting there thinking,
I really struggled with that.
He's struggling with this.
Now there's a lot more words.
There's a lot more words, yeah.
So,
go.
Rachel Miller said, there's so much...
What if I move it like this?
No, don't do that. Because if I laugh, you'll put tears in my eyes and I can't see. Rachel Miller, there's so much to look forward to in 2023. My most anticipated is Guardians 3. Ever since I saw the first, I've wanted to be in their gang. I can totally see that.
Yeah, totally agree.
I just connect with them and I love everything about them. I just started laughing because I thought of Rocket thinking about stealing that guy's eye. I think the third is going to be a rough ride, though. I'm not sure I'm ready. I don't think any of us are.
No, it's going to be really emotional.
Yeah.
It's going to be very upsetting.
No matter what happens, we know someone's going and we know that it's going to be a tearjerker.
They always are at the end of Guardians. Guardians 1 was bad. Guardians 2 killed me.
Mary Poppins, Joe!
When Yondu died,
Mate,
that absolutely destroyed me, and this one's going to be worse.
Same. Sheldon Pink, literally all the images in your graphic, possibly the most up for... What does that even say?
Possibly the most up for Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The trailer for Ant-Man got me real good. Saying that, though, seeing the Guardians in their team outfits plucked from the comics is tickling my geek string, but is likely to make me blub.
Tickling my geek string. I'm robbing that.
Tickling my geek string.
Sounds a bit dirty, but
It does,
I'm robbing
but I love it.
But he's completely right. The Guardians comic accurate. I've had problems with all the comic accurate stuff in the past. The Guardians look good in the uniforms. I like that.
Joe Deuces says, Guardians of the Galaxy and James Gunn have led me down a path to who I am today. Guardians 3 will be the most emotional theatre experience to me ever. Kraven the Hunter will not be good.
I saw Kraven the Hunter.
I love that whole little section.
He was going to agree that Kraven the Hunter was exciting.
He's made a new paragraph just to make sure that we know Kraven the Hunter will not be good. And Joe, we full on agree.
1,000,000% agree with you.
It's Peacemaker?
Yeah.
I just didn't know his name was Joe. Hi, Joe.
His name's Joe, yeah.
Will. Mario, Transformers, Indiana Jones, Mandalorian, Oppenheimer, The Last of Us, Loki, Bad Batch, Vikings, Valhalla, hopefully Andor. So much to look forward to.
So
I mean, when you've just... I know, yeah. When you just list that...
So much good stuff. We haven't even talked about the TV series yet. We're going to do that in a minute, but...
The real Benjamin Smith said, I'm most excited to see Ant-Man. Looking forward to opening up the Kang saga.
There's a lot of... I mean, it's all Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, really, isn't it? It's a lot of pressure on Ant-Man here.
Someone been trying to steal Benjamin Smith's identity?
I don't know why.
Just because it was the real Benjamin Smith.
I don't know.
I was just wondering if you've been having issues, Ben.
You need to do Baileys every weekend, mate. It's fucking brilliant. It just goes off on one even more.
No, because I just chat shit.
Even more than usual. It's brilliant. I enjoy it. It's good. That's us, though. Thank you, everybody, for sending in what you're excited about. We've got some more as well for Podfans Assemble on the Patreon one. What TV series? I mean, Will's covered everything, everything. I'm excited about everything. To be fair, though, all quality stuff. Some stuff in there as well that I've never watched, like Vikings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I need to get onto that. Apparently, it's really good. Nearly done then. So before we do the wrap up, let's do patron shout outs. So thanks to Geekinate, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, Sheldon, and Michael for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast Into the Podverse with new episodes after every main episode now.
Woohoo!
Even more stuff. Patrons also get discounts off... I don't know where that was going. Patrons also get discounts off merch and the ability to listen to the show being recorded live every week. We'll be back doing that next week. If you want to access all the extra content and support the show as well, you can head over to patreon.com/thatsuperhero thing or hit the link in the episode description to this episode. That's probably just easier. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week for... We're doing what we're doing next week. Probably an Ant-Man Quantumania review. Not review, trailer review.
Yeah.
News.
And...
Bit of an announcement. Big announcement?
Yes.
Let's not do it this week.
No. Let's do it next week.
If you're listening to this on Saturday, you probably already know, but we'll announce it next week.
Yeah.
Big news. Biggest news of the podcast ever.
Yeah.
We didn't get Ryan Reynolds on. Somebody asked on Twitter. Unfortunately not.
Is that what somebody thought?
Somebody thought.
Oh, mate. I wish.
It would be amazing.
I wish.
I want to kind of say this is better. Because we can get Ryan Reynolds on now. Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not.
Anyway, yeah. So big news next week as well. If you don't already, make sure you check out our socials at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest updates on the show and calls to action for next week's Podfans Assemble.
Listen,
go on.
I think...
You've definitely had too much to drink. Go on.
I think...
You interrupted me wrap up.
I know, because I think...
Yeah.
That if we started to do a day one of asking Ryan Reynolds to be in our show and just carry on doing it until he's on our show...
Yeah.
We'll get to a point where
he'll
be
like...
Danny
Glover.
Donald's not that old.
Danny has said.
But I think he'd appreciate that kind of
if we just harass
commitment
him daily on his
but I think he'd find it funny.
Yeah. I can smell the lawsuit.
I should dress up as every character Ryan Reynolds has ever played.
I'm not aware.
Because I would not look good.
No, do it.
Could you see me as Van Wilder?
I'm not aware that we've been blocked by anybody in the past, but I reckon it'll take about 4 days to get blocked. Definitely get blocked. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to follow us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. Helps us out massively. The more subscribers and the more 5-star reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts and the more people can find the show. Other than that, though, we're done for this one. If you're a patron, jump onto the Patreon now or wherever you've got your RSS feed, and we're going to start talking about 2023's TV series. If you're not a patron, hit the link in the episode description, like we said.
Do it.
And you can go and listen to episode 2. And then what we're going to do is, after we recorded that, we're going to find Anthony a Deadpool costume. We're going to start sending Ryan Reynolds photos.
Mate,
that sounds so seedy.
I would not look good dressed as Deadpool.
We just need a Polaroid camera now and send him in the post. I know where you live.
Just send it to Wrexham Football Club.
Don't give me ideas, I'll do it. Cheers, guys. Anyway, see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.